Shalom from the holiest place on earth. We are now at the Kotel, the site of the Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple, both temples that stood here at this site. It's early in the morning. I have a very, very special and a unique guest. This is Yaakov Baruch from Manado, Indonesia. Yaakov is going to tell us he's amazing, he's incredible, his phenomenal journey, his discovery about Judaism, and his path to becoming religious. So we look forward to your journey, sharing with us, and we appreciate that you are sharing your personal life with us. And we really thank you. And we welcome you here to Israel. Baruch haba. And we thank you very, very much.
Shalom, my name is Yaakov Baruch. I'm from Manado, Indonesia. Now I'm in Jerusalem, Israel.
Welcome to the holy city, this very, very special city. Yaakov, can I ask, I know you have a very, very fascinating and incredible story to share with our listeners. Can you explain how did you first discover your Jewish roots?
It was when I was in high school. I was about 17 years old. I was arguing with my grandmother about the Bible, story about Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu. Suddenly, she's yelling on me, and she said, "You know what? You don't know anything, because I'm Jewish." I said, "What? Jewish?" I was very shocked and surprised because since I was born, I know that I have a Dutch grandmother, not a Jewish grandmother. So it is like a serious something, you know, something that make me like suddenly like in my heart is a stop, you know. And then I start to do something to learn, you know, about what is Judaism, what is Jewish people, and then now I become like a what?
Okay, it's quite at the age, you were around 17 when your grandmother revealed that she was actually Jewish?
Yes, I was in 17 years old.
Now, your mother never mentioned to you that she was Jewish?
My mother never mentioned at all because she didn't know at all for sure.
How come it was kept as a secret from you and from your mother?
Okay.
Did your grandmother ever explain to you why she never revealed Jewish heritage and the Jewish roots before?
On the day when she revealed, until now, I was asking, and she always said that because her parents forbid to spoke about the family backgrounds because it's not safe. Why it's not safe? Because in Indonesia back to the 1940, it was under the Japanese occupation. The Japanese, they collaborate with the Nazis, and they not only find the Dutch people, but they also find the Jewish people. They want to kill, and it's happened. They sent to the camp, like in Burma or like in Bandung, in Tangerang, there's a few camps. It's like exactly like what in Europe, the camp for the Jews, and the Jews they start to killing there. So it's really not only traumatic, but it's really like for them, they feel danger to tell people that they're Jews.
Did you have any family members that were captured and that were killed by the Japanese?
Yes, from my father's side, two of the brother of my grandmother was kidnapped and was killed. They was executed by the Japanese soldier. And from my mother's side, one brother of my grandmother was killed by the bomb by the Japanese.
And mainly because they found out that they were Jewish?
Yeah, it's not only a Jewish issue, but also because of Dutch. The Japanese, so Dutch and Jews is the same because they consider Jews as an enemy because of the influence of the Nazis.
And when you grew up, did you grow up in a, you didn't know that you were Jewish till 17? Did you grow up in a Christian environment or?
Yeah, my family mostly they're Christian, so I live in a Christian family, but I'm not so really religious. I mean, I'm not a visitor for every Sunday, something like that. I just try to be a good Christian in Indonesia on the time without to find problem. But after what happened when I was 7, it's like, oh, it's like it's make me like a new life, you know. It's like a changing, life changing, you know.
And Yaakov, can I ask, when you found out that you were Jewish,
Yes.
it must have come as a tremendous shock. I mean, at
I
the age of
was-
17, all of a sudden to know, wow, I have Jewish roots.
I was
How did you feel?
very, very shocked, you know. It's like, what, for the 17 years, I don't know anything about my background. I thought I know, but the fact is no. So it's like something that really make me very shocked, you know.
And can I ask, your father, your grandfather, your grandparents who weren't Jewish, who were Christian, how did they react to the new information, knowing that your mother
Yeah.
is Jewish, that you actually are halakhically according to Jewish law Jewish?
Okay. Both of my grandfather has passed away already, so they don't know nothing about this. But my father is an open-minded person, you know. It's for him, it's like it's okay. You want to go back to the Jewish roots. You want to do anything. It's nothing wrong with that. He very support and he always stand for what I choose.
It's wonderful. Now, did you have any brothers or sisters, any siblings?
No, I'm the only son in the family.
And when you found out that you were Jewish, did you tell any of your friends, or did you keep it as a bit of a secret?
I tell some friends for sure, and then they're very shocked as well. Some believe, some not. But I say I don't buy if people don't know to believe. I want to focus on what I should find in this life. You know, I don't have time like for nonsense like this.
Were you upset with your grandmother that she only revealed this knowledge of Jewish heritage to you at such a late age? Was your mother upset that she didn't know growing up that she was Jewish?
I never hear my mother complain to my grandmother, but definitely I feel very, very uncomfortable. Why they don't want to say it to me? But now I try to reveal all my friends, my people. Is nothing wrong with that.
Did you feel like you were robbed of your heritage in a way?
Yeah, suddenly it's like this is something new, you know, something new, new perspective in my mind, my life. I think, but it's very positive. I think.
And when you found out that you were now Jewish and you had Jewish roots, how was your reaction towards the land of Israel, the state of Israel?
Yeah, before I know that I'm Jewish, I really support Israel. Since I was a kid, if you open my book, I always draw a plane or a boat with the Israeli flag. And I said, always this is Israel, Israel, Israel. It's like the love of Israel is already in my heart, you know.
Even before you knew you were Jewish?
Yes, far before.
And you had never visited Israel before?
I started to went Israel in 2009. Then I make it twice for that year, and then 2004 I make it twice as well. After that, 2012, 13, 14, it's just like.
And Yaakov, when you found out this news, this breaking news, this tremendous news, I mean, it's a life-changing, this was life-changing for you. What did you do? Did you want to know more about your heritage? Did you go to the nearest bookshop to try and get books on Judaism? The internet wasn't as popular as it is now in those days. What did you do to increase your knowledge of your newly found faith?
Okay, it's a good question. when my grandmother told about this, impossible to find a Jewish book in my country, especially in my town. So I need to open internet, and then I need to meet all the Jews, the other Jews, like the elders. We have like Sephardi elder Jews in Jakarta and in Surabaya. I tried to meet them and told about what my grandmother told. They said, yeah, let's see what we can do for you, but you need to do something more, something for yourself. So after that, I tried to learn by myself and then by internet, and then I went to Singapore in 2006. In 2006, I went to Singapore for 3 years. I go back to study to the Rav Abergel there, and then in 2009, I went to Israel for the first time. I go straight to Mia Sharim. There's a yeshiva there. My friend studied there, asked me to come. So it's like, it's really, really, you feel what you feel empty inside you,
To fill the void. It's filling
Right,
the void.
right.
Can I ask, when your grandmother mentioned, revealed
Yeah.
the Jewish roots, do you have any uncles or aunts that you could go to and ask, well, now you Jewish,
Right, right.
other family that's
So
Jewish?
when my grandmother revealed this, first family that I went is my granduncle. But before I arrive in his place, I just thinking that now it makes sense why he live in Israel for 7 years.
You knew that he lived in Israel.
I knew that because he always proud to tell them, I live in Israel. And then after that, I talked to him. He gave me a kippah. He said something like talit, everything. He said, yeah, this is our something that we use if we want to pray. So from that moment, I knew which one talit, which one kippah. And then what I like it is both of my granduncle and my grandmother, they like to teach me some Hebrew song. And then they said, these songs belongs to their parents. They love it, this song. So it's like, make me, what you said, have some connection with the past.
And your grandmother, did she tell you anything about what was handed down to her from her grandparents, from her family?
No, she only tell about the story before the war, and after the war, we really don't know what happened with the soldier.
But did she have any knowledge of Judaism that she could share with you? Any stories, any songs, any traditions that you could pass down to you?
She like to share to me what actually how the family practice in Holland. Like my grandmother, her auntie always went to the shul in Holland every Hanukkah and Rosh Hashanah. So when I spoke to some of my mother relatives in Holland, they said, yes, your grandmother is a Jewish family, we know exactly blah, 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 this and but yeah, I mean, it's still, for me, it's still something fantastic, I'm still unbelievable until now.
And where in Holland did the family come from? Do you know which city in Holland?
It's from Schaffenhagen. It's a small city next to Den Haag. Now it's a part of Den Haag, Schaffenhagen.
And you still have relatives there?
In Holland some, but in Israel as well. I start to contact them these 2 days, but it's quite difficult. I will see tomorrow if I can meet them in Tel Aviv.
Yaakov, when you mentioned that you went to Singapore,
Yes.
I met the rabbi.
Yes.
My wife and I were very privileged to be at the World Stamp Exhibition in Jakarta in 2012. En route, we spent a Shabbat in Singapore. We found the community to be extremely, the rabbi was phenomenal. The community is very warm and inviting. When you went there, did you spend Shabbos in Singapore?
Yeah. I'm enjoying it very much there.
And that you found the community to be very open and warm and inviting as well?
First, it's not really because they really need to know, about me.
They've never seen somebody from Indonesia coming before?
No, it's only some Christians, something, but like the Jews want to really, they're very, very strict. So So yeah, I mean, it takes time for me, to have in touch with them.
And you then developed a very close connection.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem for that.
And the rabbi helped you with a lot of, I'm sure you must have had tremendous amount of questions to ask.
Right. The rabbi is like Sadiq. He's really helped me very much, about my spiritual journey.
And you still in contact with the rabbi?
Yeah. Still have contact. If there is a Chabad that want to come, he will contact me and say, please take care of them.
Yaakov, can I ask, when you came for your very first visit to Israel,
Yes.
how did you feel when you came? What was your first impression?
It's unbelievable. Like I'm in paradise. Like in Gan Eden, because I'm always watching in the TV, always watching a movie, but now I'm here. So it's like unbelievable. I really enjoy it.
And your first visit to Yerushalayim, to Jerusalem?
Yeah, first visit to Jerusalem, and then to go to the Galilee, and then that's for 2-3 days, and then sleep back.
Now, you grew up in Jakarta, and then you moved to Manado.
Right.
And Manado's got a very high concentration, I think. Indonesia has got the largest amount of Muslims on earth. It's the most populous Muslim country, but it's also got a couple of million Christians as well.
Right.
And I think a lot of Christian visitors to Israel that come here.
Yeah.
But in your town, in Manado, it has the distinction of having, I think, the largest menorah in the world.
Yeah, because about the issue about the menorah, some people said the idea came from me. Actually, it's not. It came from themselves when they make a Israeli trip a few years ago, and then they told me when they come back, they said they want to make that menorah in Manado. After it's a totally different, but it's like what you happened in Knesset. So I said, okay, why not?
And how big is the menorah?
It's like 35 meters.
Is it a main tourist attraction to a lot of people come to visit?
Pardon?
Is it a big tourist attraction to a lot of visitors
That
come?
is actually before it's nothing, but the government tried to find people,
Okay. Now, growing up in Manado, did you find any connection to Judaism? Is there any synagogue? Is there any
Well,
Jewish
the last synagogue was destroyed, during that time, and then there is a few, as you can see yesterday. If I'm not wrong, like I saw it some about some Jews out from Manado, they moved to Surabaya. I saw it like to Jakarta because they don't feel nice anymore. So many of the Jewish family they out from Manado. This is one of the problem also because they prefer to move to Jakarta to some place.
Okay, and your grandmother, one of her wishes that you would build a synagogue?
Pardon?
Did your grandmother ask you if she could build a synagogue?
Yeah, first time after she refilled, I was asking him, and then what you want? And then she told me you can buy the synagogue, you can fill with people to pray, and that's what I'm doing after.
And you created a synagogue, you built a synagogue.
No, it was a house by my grand uncle that he want to sell it, so I sell it, and then there's a couple from Holland came to buy it, and then they make it a synagogue.
And you run the synagogue?
Yes, I run.
And it's an Orthodox synagogue?
It's Orthodox synagogue. Mehitza, men and women separate, and then there's a big bima, Arun Akodes, everything.
And you have a Sefer Torah?
Yes, we have a kosher Sephardic Sefer Torah.
Do you have a lot of guests coming, a lot of Israelis or a lot of guests coming to Manado?
Some, if they come with the group, it will be like 5-10 people, but if not, so let's say sometimes you have a visitor for Shabbat, like 1-2 people. They say they read about us in the internet and then they come. So yeah.
And have you been interviewed by, I'm sure there must be a lot of journalists when they hear that there's a religious Jew living in Indonesia. It's very interesting and fascinating. And have you been interviewed by a few different publications?
Yeah, like New York Times, Marif, they're really interesting.
And people that come to Manado, they you show them around and they come to your home and to the synagogue.
No, first they just go direct to the gate of the synagogue, and then after the service, I tell them if there's another free time, we'll take you to see. Wow.
And Yaakov, let me just ask you, when we first were in touch,
Yeah.
we go back about 4 years.
Yes.
One of the only things you asked me to ask, what can I send from Israel?
Yeah.
And you asked me for a headroom.
Yeah.
And we managed to send it in the post. And I think it arrived just the last day of Sukkot. But now you've planted an etrog in Indonesia.
Pardon?
You planted an etrog.
Yeah. I planted the etrog. I make a small garden with all the etrog especially from you. I think it will be good.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I just would like to mention to our viewers out there that you are the only practicing Orthodox Jew, I think, in Indonesia.
Oh no, I think there is other people, but we didn't know. But I believe not only me, some people, locals or overseas, I think.
I think you're being very modest. But Yaakov, have you had any danger walking around, wearing a kippah or a yarmulke?
Yeah, I was attacked in 2012 with my wife. She's pregnant on the time, and then they tried to catch me because I'm wearing a kippah. It's in the Samo in Jakarta. So after I'm wearing it, nothing happened. So yeah.
But you now walk around with a cap?
No, I use like a baseball cap.
Okay.
It depends. It's not so far, so I can use other. But like other baseball cap or something. But I don't want to provocate people if they saw it keep our system.
Because unfortunately, we just heard in the news that there was an attack by
Yes,
ISIS.
exactly. Yeah, many attack now. So that's why we need to keep a good relation between Jews, Christians, Muslims, everything in Indonesia.
And there was unfortunately the attack, I think, when we were there in 2012. It was the anniversary of the attack that happened in Bali. It was the 10th anniversary. Yaakov, can I ask, looking back on your incredible journey, your tremendous journey, which has captivated us,
Yeah.
hearing your discovery of Judaism and how you went to Singapore and how your thirst for learning Torah and your just amazing journey. What words can you share with our listeners? What words of encouragement would you give somebody who's in a similar predicament, somebody who finds out that they're Jewish? What advice would you give for our listeners out there?
What do you mean? Can you repeat again the question?
For people that hear only late in life that they're Jewish, what advice would you give?
It's if you only feel it, it means you're not enough. Enough means you do the mitzvot, you do everything what the Torah said. That's you can say enough.
And you're very happy that you learning more about doing the mitzvot and learning more about the laws. It's been a very positive step for you.
Yeah, of course, because it's really, I know which one I should do, which one not, so it's a good thing.
Well, Yaakov, I want to thank you on behalf of all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
and we wish you and your family only all of Hashem's blessings.
Thank you.
Mazel bracha.
Thank you.
May all your wishes and dreams become reality. May
Thank
please
you.
God, you and your family come to Israel, live
Amen.
in the Holy Land,
Amen.
the land that you've always loved.
Sat
And
Hashem.
we welcome you here and we look forward to your next visit
Sat
in
Hashem.
the holiest place on earth. And it's been an honor and a privilege to interview you. Thank you, Yaakov.
My pleasure. Befakasha.